comfortable, and action.
Action. Have you been to France before?
No, I would love to go there one day when the world settles down, and so does my bank account.
Yeah. You know what? You know who the real losers out of this pandemic is?
Who?
I'm not gonna say it. But on today's show, we've got
You got me.
we got a good show for you guys today. Hello everyone. G'day Hammy. Welcome.
Hello.
What was the title again? Can you read the title?
Oh
for
yes,
me?
the title was what was it? It was like
Our
forward.
Wheels.
No, it was like forward. Can we see it?
No, we
I
can't
forgot
see it.
already.
We can't see the title.
Yeah, it was Ford controllers and women.
Colors.
Colors.
Ford and women.
I can't even remember.
And those three
Suffering from
words are the most
short-term.
exciting things you're going to hear all
Yes.
in the next
For the
45
next
minutes.
hour or so. Absolutely.
G'day,
Evening,
Michael.
everybody. Hello.
Evening. We do have some great topics. We're going to talk about
We
Sony.
do. Yes, we're going to talk about Sony, their controllers,
We're going to talk about Ford and
Oh, yes.
their new
wheels.
truck.
Yep.
And
This
we're going
guy's
to talk about a survey.
Yes, a survey that is in reference to the ladies.
The ladies.
The ladies.
Tune in. We're going to learn about ladies.
And we have some talk about Microsoft and Bethesda reportedly hosting their E3 conference together.
I saw a tweet today that
Oh.
Starfield
Yeah.
was done. And then I saw another tweet that said, no, that's a lie. That's FUD. And there's
Oh.
no Starfield yet.
So maybe you reckon? Like
don't
how
know.
they've been at it for ages.
Do you think
Forever
they'll
and
show
ever.
anything?
I reckon they'll show something. They'll
You
have to
reckon?
show something. Yeah, I mean it's E3. You know, they make so much of a fuss about E3. They have to show. something.
Sony's not going to be in there, though, are they?
No, see, Sony's going to do their own thing, and they're going
course
to
they
try
are.
to like undercut them big time.
As always. You
Yeah.
know what happens? All it means is there's going to be like 2 events, and we're going to get 2 sets of news, and that's it. It doesn't change much.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
still gonna
probably
be-
get like a dozen games shown by like Sony and Microsoft,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Do you think Sony would invite Xbox to their event?
No. No,
I don't know why I asked that. I thought they went to a point and like, all right, you know what? We're going to have our own show with
Yeah.
blackjack and hookers.
Who's Sony?
Yeah.
Why?
Because maybe they had a disagreement with all the other people. So maybe
Oh.
they'll start their own E3 and call it E4.
Right. Why is it called E3? Do you know?
I thought it was electronic
Right.
conference.
Oh, it's like electronics, entertainment, and something, right?
Yeah, the
It's
3
like
E's.
The 3 E's, yeah.
Entertain, electrically, event.
Event, yes. Absolutely.
Maybe somebody in comments
Absolutely.
can.
Oh, why did we miss
Oh,
last week?
yeah.
What a good question.
Oh, g'day Andrew, g'day Pog,
Yes, g'day,
Time to
g'day.
Fly.
Yes, unfortunately, work did get in the way of my life.
Your life has work. In it.
My life has work in it, guys. Believe it or not, I know.
We miss being here. I was actually like going, what am I going to do with my life on a Friday afternoon after work?
I
Go to
know.
the pub or something? Like, who does that?
I know, I was really depressed, even though I was at a pub. And I wasn't on the show. Yes.
So, welcome everybody. We do have a good show. Make sure to like this video to help it grow. I suppose, you know what, if people like it, what happens is we suddenly get people who don't see that the notification goes out that it's live. And then it pops up on the feed. That's what I've learned
Right.
recently. Yeah.
Do likes really matter, I wonder? Because I've come across videos on like the first page of YouTube that have like 1 billion dislikes. It's like a 90% ratio of dislikes. And
Yeah,
I'm
and they
like,
still
how is
get-
this so
yeah,
successful?
That's right. But I think
Yeah.
at some point YouTube's like, oh, everybody dislikes this video. I'm not going to show it.
Anymore.
Even
Yeah.
though Baby by Justin Bieber is the most disliked video ever, isn't it?
Is it?
I think so.
Oh, wow, poor guy.
We'll check in between. Let's roll.
Yes, let's
The
roll
intro.
the thing that we always roll.
Now, it's not an
Ah.
episode of State of the Beanstalk that's the most disliked video.
It's not.
No, it's not.
But we're second last, right?
Yeah, it was second to
okay.
last.
Second to last.
Maybe the fifth one, because I'll read you out
Okay,
the
okay.
4 most hated videos on YouTube.
Oh God, here we go.
Also, if anybody's wondering why I'm really subtle, no, not subtle, quiet.
Yeah.
I'm so hungover.
Are you?
Oh, maybe not hungover.
I'm a little bit tired.
Are you a bit tired?
I'm a bit
I
tired.
was
I
out-
was noticed. I'm like, your energy level's low. So am mine.
I was out at a gig last night
Oh,
in
nice.
Perth at Frio Social. It was called The Chats. It's like this ochre, bogany band.
Okay.
Super fun. Super fun.
Oh wow.
Anyway, if anybody knows The Chats, it's pretty good fun.
You had a good time.
So the most hated video from number 4. So that's Baby. So Baby is the most hated video at number 4.
Wow.
And then beaten out by Baby Shark Dance.
Oh, baby
Have you
sharks.
seen Baby Shark Dance?
I think I've the Baby Shark song where it's like Baby Shark and then Daddy Shark and something.
Is
like
that it?
Maybe. And I was like, oh, this is
Do
insane.
we need to bring it up?
No.
No. Okay. Then it's the Sadek 2 trailer. It's a movie, obviously.
Yeah. Is it like an
13
Indonesian movie or something?
It
Like
might be. It might
yeah,
be.
right.
But the number 1 hated video of all time on YouTube is a video about YouTube. Rewind 2018. Everyone controls Rewind. Do you remember that one?
Wow. How funny.
I can't believe that is the most hated video.
Yes, you did show me that, and I haven't seen it until that point. I remember
Yeah.
seeing it.
I can't believe that is the most hated video.
Wow.
Yes, Michael, we have fixed the popping, but that's because we're on Casper's side of the fence.
Ah, yes, this is the pop free zone, guys. Casper's life.
Yeah. G'day, Yogi Bear. All right, let's get into our first topic. Let's talk
All right.
E3 because I think
Let's
I'm
hit
really
it.
excited about a couple of games. I want to talk about a game that I played recently.
Oh, what game did you play, Patrick?
I
Tell
went
me.
back to play Max Payne 3.
Oh, that's a hot game, man.
It's
That's
so
beautiful
good. It's
visuals.
so
Yeah.
beautiful, and it plays so well. It's really smooth. It plays well on like ultra wide.
Yeah.
And the
oh, does
gameplay
it cover like the whole screen? How does that work? 'Cause
yeah,
that's
it covers
an
the
old...
whole screen.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's great.
Because that game is what 2012,
Third
13. I remember when we both got it.
Yeah.
And we had a LAN at my place
and played that game. It
and
was
played
really
that
weird.
game, and we drank whiskey.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
I
it was so
remember
great.
sitting there watching the intro video of Max drinking the whiskey and me
Same.
going, Max, I feel your pain.
Yeah, no, I remember. It was good times. And then we were playing Diablo as well.
Yes, Diablo.
Diablo
God,
3.
Those were
Wow.
times. So those, I suppose. So I've been trying to find a game to play. I've been meaning to play The Village. I want to give it a
Oh,
go.
yes, the Village, the Resident Evil Village.
Yeah,
So you
Resident
have it
Evil.
now?
I haven't got it yet.
Oh,
I
okay,
want to
cool,
play
cool,
it,
cool.
so I'm going to get it soon. And I'm just trying to find a new game to play. I feel like I'm out of options for somebody who's coming home from work at like 6, walks the
Yeah.
dog, dinner, maybe 7 o'clock. I get to have maybe an hour or two apart. Like I haven't even been doing my videos, man. I've got like 5 videos not edited.
Oh,
and I
my
need
goodness.
to. So I've
Life
been
crisis.
life crisis. I've been tired. So
Yeah.
question is, I need a game, and if E3 can deliver, are we doing E3?
We should do E3.
Let's go E3. 'cause
we
that's-
should. Well, okay, right. We're doing it like talk about it. Yeah,
Yes.
sure. Why not? Let's
So I'm
go
hoping
E3.
that E3 can deliver a game that I will like.
Yeah, what could they show us? Like, okay, so Doom recently released, right?
I don't want
The-
another
the
Doom.
new
I'm sorry.
Okay, so there probably won't be a Doom in a
Slow
little
down,
while.
brother.
Yeah. So Bethesda, what are they going to show us? Are they going to show us the new space game, the Starlink game?
That's what the tweet I saw, right? So the tweet said
Yeah.
that it's all crap and it's not ready at all.
Okay.
Because somebody said it's already been ready, like finished, and then they're just polishing it.
Can you recall when it was announced?
It was announced back in.
Like a few years back?
It was actually just let's look it up. Go Starfield and let's get a bit of history
Is
on
it
it.
Starfield?
Yeah, Starfield.
Why am I calling it
Yeah,
Starlink? Am I Starfield? Okay, yeah, Starfield. Right. They're saying we'll be the star, mind the pun, of the show at the joint conference, with the next major RPG from Bethesda set to be announced in June ahead of its planned Xbox and PC release sometime in 2022.
So if the release happens in 22, that means we might get something of it, right? Like
Right, yeah.
showing in E3 this
We might see
this
some
year.
gameplay.
But I think it was announced like a couple of years ago. It was at a point in time when they had an event. They announced like Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah,
Remember,
all they
like
showed is like from a distance, like the land or
yeah,
something like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
and I think they've showed some flying ships for Starfield,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
then again Starfield, and then there was another one like a space one that they showed also.
It was another space one.
Yeah, and then obviously
Yeah.
Microsoft has now bought them,
Yes.
so they've got. I think they've actually got a little bit more resources to really help.
Okay. You think to speed things up a little bit,
I
to
think so.
smoothen things out?
So two things I'm thinking, and this
Yeah.
is probably my working theory at the moment. Microsoft has bought Bethesda to bring in some gaming talent
Yeah.
to help with Halo.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like Halo is a bit of a mess when they showed it, right?
Yeah.
So we can expect, I think, to see that a little bit more. Oh, here
This
we
is
go.
the tweet.
Rumors like this keep floating around, but Starfield is nowhere near done. So this is what you mentioned by Jason Schreier. This man is everywhere.
This
This
man's
man
got-
is the newsman for games.
Yeah, he has his finger on the pulse of a lot of people's
Yeah.
pulse areas. Necks. He's strangling a lot of people.
He is strangling all the people. That's how he gets his news.
Yeah.
It'll be at E3, but the planned release date, I've heard, is way later than most people expect. Sharing this so that folks keep their expectations in check. That's right, people. Sorry
Where-
to hear.
Where was Jason Schreier telling people to keep their expectations in check when Cyberpunk 2077 was around? Hey? Hey?
Yeah, maybe he was buried under all the like tweets saying how
probably
awesome
was.
it's gonna
Yeah,
be. He's
yeah.
like, guys, listen to me, and
I'm
nobody listened. I'm
drowning.
drowning. Yeah, irrelevant.
So this
Yeah.
Luke Stevens, who obviously somehow came on the radar for Jason to
Yeah.
be seen, apparently Starfield has been pretty much done since September of last year.
Oh, okay.
That's a long
so that's the
time.
one he's like responding to, being
Yeah.
like, "No, it's a lie."
From what we know about Starfield, it would actually be incredible that it's done already. Like
Yeah.
it just looking at Cyberpunk and going that needed about. I think from my view, the story was done, the city was built, but they hadn't put the life into the whole thing. So I think another year would have been fine for that game.
I think
Polish
you're right.
everything up.
I think you're absolutely right. They needed just that one more year. And that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking to myself. Like when it released, I was like, come on, guys, you could have just waited 12 more months, release it the following year. And because this is kind of like a strange year where a lot of things have been pushed back anyway, this would have been a good time to launch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fair call.
Because it's also, I mean, because what are we going to get at the end of this year? Maybe Horizon Zero Dawn 2?
I'm not excited about that.
I
like
want
the
to
first
be.
game, but it's not.
Yeah, what is it about the game that doesn't suck you in?
It's beautiful,
Yeah.
but the story is. It's just this thing where you go here, do that, go over there, do that. Oh, and by the way, in between there'll be a monster, and it felt. It was beautiful. There was life, but it just felt so boring.
I agree. The first hour, like, oh, it's some things are cool, but like the first hour or two is pretty boring. But then it does like a turn and it does something really cool. Not gonna say what it is, but like I feel the story takes a really good turn. And then, but then for some reason, I still lost the need to keep playing.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I like beautiful visuals, cool gameplay. Is it maybe because it's like this? It has stale open world concepts that we're
Correct.
used
It's so stale. There's
Yeah.
nothing new about it.
to. Right.
The
like,
arrow system is boring as hell.
as in like you just shoot arrows.
Yeah. And the only interesting thing is that you can shoot some areas of the monster and do a bit more damage.
The weak points.
But
right,
that's still
yeah.
not as. It feels like you're not actually doing that much damage. It just feels like
Right.
it's like this weird thing where you can't hit it anywhere else.
You need precision,
You
right?
need that precision. So it makes it like I can only hit that spot. So
Yeah.
I have to keep aiming for that spot. But then when you take a step back, why shouldn't that spot be like the most rewarding spot and everything else be that boring bit?
Yeah.
That when you hit that spot, then it destroys like half the health. Like it just, to me, it felt like they're just forcing you to do this one spot instead of rewarding you when you can hit it, the small spot, as a reward for your accuracy. They're not
Right.
rewarding you enough for the accuracy of hitting those spots. That's how I felt.
Okay, right. What would it take for the game to really sell you on it? Like now that they've got the sequel planned, what would you want out of
I
it?
felt like there needed to be more cities.
Yep, yep.
More cities, more people, more bartering systems, being able to buy more and trade and trade routes.
Yeah.
More liveliness of other things than those
Yeah,
robots out in the
right.
wild. Maybe people, maybe travelers. Like look at the way Red Dead Redemption did it. There was these little paths people would travel. Yes, you can go in the wilderness, but it's not filled with animals. Like there is animals, but it's not like overly done. There's a bunch of stuff, but
Yeah.
it was actually interesting. There was intricate. There was different weapon styles. It felt more lively, but it's the same game, right? It's technically the same game. It's you've got a
Right.
horse or a little beast to ride, and you can kill enemies and stuff. You've got guns, and like
Yeah.
it's the same concept. For some reason, Red Dead Redemption, the story, it was intriguing, it was heartfelt, you connected with it. I felt like it was
Right.
hard to connect with this one.
Okay. I wonder if they're gonna do something to really entice us this time around. Because I do agree, like you want a world that you feel like it's being lived in. Like when you're in it, it's interactive. You can really engage with that world.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I just sort of a good day, Ray. Says just so you know, PDXCon is about to announce that City Skylines 2 is being made now. Holy crap! Did you ever play City Skylines?
Is that the online version of like SimCity?
No, it's actually the better version of SimCity.
Right. And it's like online multiplayer, or how does it work?
I don't think it's fully online or anything like that. I think you
Okay.
can visit people's cities or something like that. But it's
Okay,
it's
yeah.
just the better version of SimCity. It doesn't need
Wow.
an internet connection. You can just play it on your laptop. On the train maybe with that connection. It's fantastic. Every
man.
single pain point that SimCity had, this doesn't. So that's really exciting. Thanks,
Yeah.
Ray.
So just heading back to this E3 that's coming up next month, in fact, in like 3 weeks' time. What else do you think they could possibly announce? What are the studios, right? Like, what does
Can you
Bethesda
Google what are
own?
the E3 studios or whatever the
All right,
people
we'll
are going to
go
be at E3?
E3 Studios. That's not right. The E3, no, Bethesda Studios. Maybe let's have a look.
But it's not just Bethesda, right? It's more. It's
Yeah,
multiple.
but I
So
just
go-
feel like okay, E3, just E3 2021.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
have a look at the.
Let's see
expo. Yeah.
who's attending.
Attendee type? No. Industry.
Media fans,
Exhibitor
industry.
sponsor. Is that going to ask you to like sign up?
Let's see industry.
Nah, see, it's
Nah.
not. Yeah. No, just type in who's going to E3 21 or something.
Yeah, the website should tell us, right?
Yeah, you should.
Wow, it's not
Unless they
helping.
unless they haven't announced who's actually going.
What you think? Like people are gonna pull out?
Yeah, it looks like they're not being very
Like
forthcoming.
it's yeah, I know we don't have much time, and yet it feels like it's a little bit unorganized. Everything you
Okay,
need to
look,
know.
Tech Radar will probably do all our research for
Yeah,
us.
who is attending? Let's have a look. Right, so Greg Miller will be the.
Oh, that's
he'll
the
be a
host.
host. Yeah, cool.
Okay,
So
Ubisoft. Okay.
Ubisoft are doing
Right.
a thing. On
What do you
June
think
12th.
Ubisoft's going to bring?
So Ubisoft has recently been talking about pulling away from those AAA games, which was actually a big shocker to hear. So there's not going to be any Assassin's Creed.
Oh,
There's
good.
not going to be any Splinter Cell. There's not going to be
What?
any Watch Dogs. There's not going to be
Good.
I think it's going to be possibly more expansions to Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah.
And perhaps Watch Dogs, and maybe some smaller titles.
Do you remember there was a Rainbow Six Siege game?
Yes.
Called Radioactive or something like that. They renamed it, and then now it's
Quarantine or something like that?
Quarantine, yeah.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
it's Quarantine, and it's coming up as a standalone. Do you think they'll show Quarantine?
Yes.
Yes, I'm hoping so because
Yeah, I
I'm
think
really
they will.
excited for Quarantine.
I think
it could
so.
be that co-op game that people have been, yearning for after, Dead Space. No,
Which one?
what's the
Oh.
co-op zombie shooter?
So many. Well, Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead. That's one.
Oh, right,
Left 4
right,
Dead
right.
2 was like the last one that was like really fun co-op little. Yeah.
Yeah, which is what I'm excited for. Back for Blood.
Yeah. I think isn't
awesome.
Prince of good day Dundee man. Isn't Prince of
Hello.
Persia remake already out?
Is it?
I thought that's already out.
And it looks super chunky, right?
Yeah, it wasn't that great. I think, or maybe we
Okay,
saw
hold
a
on.
video of it.
Persia
And it wasn't that great.
remake.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, there you go. You use Ubisoft ANZ.
This one?
Yeah.
Ah, Sands of Time.
Well, it is 2021, so maybe it's pre-order. Okay.
Yep. Yeah,
just
we'll
go
just
accept
I
cookies.
refuse your
I
cookies.
refuse.
Haha. The Sands of Time remake.
I mean,
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
you can
that was one
pre-order
of my
now.
favorite games on PlayStation 2. I really enjoyed it, and the whole like going back in time when you fail, it was so good. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is still in the works.
Oh, yep, that's another one that's in the works.
That is another one. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got this. Oh,
Oh,
EA.
EA. So
but this is
obviously,
happening in July. So this is happening later.
yeah.
so
What's
these
up? What's
guys-
the other one then? No, that one's June.
So yeah,
June.
these guys are June.
Yeah.
So below we've rounded up all the confirmed dates and times of E321's conferences. We will continue to update. So are we saying that the conferences are all split? Are they?
It probably seems like it. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised. Most of it is going to
Oh
be
no, they
COVID
will
related.
see like EA will be skipping E3 and
Oh,
they'll
okay.
hold the thing on the 22nd of July, which
But
is
now
Play
see,
Live.
EA has like a service, right?
Yep.
They have the game. They have a Games Pass basically,
Yeah.
which is EA Play, isn't it, or something like that?
Yeah.
And then they have now a sports, gaming. They've
Yeah.
obviously got their Battlefields. They've actually got a lot of content now as a whole as a organization. EA, right? They've got a
Oh,
lot
they
of
do.
stuff. I think they've probably just done the same thing as Sony. At the end of the day, EA is a beast, like
They
as
are.
of a company, and they don't make bad games. They just make games that tend to have a lot of microtransactions.
They do, yeah, and that's how their reputation gets a little bit harmed by
Yeah.
the fact that we don't like that.
No, but the games aren't like horrible. They're not like they're not Fallout 76 horrible.
I mean, we had that Star Wars game that was pretty cool.
It was cool. It looked
Yeah.
brilliantly. It played really
Yeah.
well, and I bet you a lot of kids loved playing that game.
I think they're
And-
getting like deeper into Star Wars now.
yeah.
They
Oh,
do a lot more
no,
Star Wars
didn't they lose the Star Wars?
Well, yeah.
Because Squadron
What is
was a
it?
good game.
Ubisoft was working on a Star Wars game, right? They've teamed up with LucasArts. Yeah.
Yeah, so they've lost it. EA's lost it. I think so obviously only Disney owns the whole Marvel and they
Yeah.
own Star Wars.
And Star Wars. Yeah.
And Disney wants to be seen as the family friendly. We love everyone. We are so inclusive. We
Yeah.
don't pay our employees well and we make them have really long hours and don't give them pee breaks, but
Here's a Battlefield game.
here's a Star Wars game for
Oh wait, who are you
everyone.
talking about? Disney.
Yeah, Disney.
Oh, is Disney really bad to its
Well, no,
employees?
yeah, well, Disney owns Star Wars, right?
Right, yeah,
and
yeah.
they teamed up with EA Games to do a Star Wars thing, and then EA Games was like, "Oh, we got to make some money on the side with some microtransactions."
Yeah, let's whip the slaves.
yeah. With those stuff, Disney's like,
Yeah.
"Wait a minute, only we're allowed to do that."
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah,
that's
stop
probably
stealing
why
our thing.
they cut the
The slave whipping.
slave whipping.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Xbox, Nintendo, Capcom, Ubisoft, Take-Two, Warner Bros, Koch Media, Square Enix, Sega, Bandai,
These are all the people attending. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this.
Exceed Games. Who are they? We've heard of everyone except.
Exceed. Oh, actually, Exceed Games. I saw a game from them.
Do you know what
Recently.
I find really interesting actually? Sega.
Oh, they do like this. Yeah, Sega.
Sega
Oh,
has been around for so long,
so long. Yes.
to the point where they were a maker of consoles,
Yes.
and then they just started making games instead for other consoles. Like what a pivot! Like what a pivot! What an
Huge
insane
pivot, yeah.
company pivot where you go, yeah, we can't compete there, but we seem to make really good games. Let's just
Let's
do that
focus on
for
the game sector.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's focus on the software.
much better margins.
Good
much-
outcome.
A great outcome for Sega, and they're
Yeah.
still around.
You know what? I know that Sega recently teased something, and they're like, "We're working on something."
What
and
was it?
And it's pretty big. Nobody knows,
Ah.
but they're just teasing us. So it's gonna be something huge. It's gonna be something bigger than they've ever done before.
Cyberpunk 2076.
2078.
78.
Yeah.
2076, yeah.
Yeah. It's like Japanese cyberpunk. Oh yeah.
Man, I love Japanese cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Like the animes that I've watched,
Yeah,
and there's a couple of games. The fighting games are really cool when they're cyberpunkish.
Yeah. Man.
Neo Tokyo, and I really liked not Akira because Akira has Neo Tokyo, but
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
a
Well, animation you're thinking of?
there's an animation. It's got
It
big robots.
Oh, I think it was Gundam Wing.
No, Evangelion.
Evangelion, yeah, right,
That
right,
I really
right.
like that one, even though this kid was really annoying and mopey. You know.
Yeah.
But
So be the kids. Hey, speaking of Gundam stuff and Japan, so Capcom being there,
yes.
maybe they'll give us a little bit of a sneak peek on that Pragmata game that they showed. That looks really cool. Remember when we saw that trailer?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
from the Sony event. No, that was that was a Sony event, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. We saw it in 2020, and the trailer was like coming 2022.
Yeah, it was a long
And
way
now-
away.
Yeah, and now it's 2021, and they're like, well, actually 2023.
Oh, really?
So they pushed it back. So maybe we won't see anything.
You know, my question is with this whole human malware, how, because like when I think of developers, I think that, yeah, you can actually do your job quite well from home. Maybe you don't have access to the right gear, so maybe you need to take all that home, maybe fast internet. But I wonder how collaborative they are when they just sit around in a room. I wonder if that is the reason for these games coming up all wonky.
Right.
Because I wonder if the collaboration of being quite close to each other actually leads to better outcomes. Because I'm very much like, hey, you can work from home. Like, I support that. Like, we're not in 2019 anymore.
Yeah.
But
Wow,
maybe one of
can
these
you-
artistic
yeah.
scenarios where you're making games, maybe it is something that you actually need people-to-people contact. Maybe that's why the delays are happening.
Yeah, I thought about that too. Like, because people are working from home now, does that mean they're a little bit more relaxed as well? Like how can you keep people accountable when they're at a
Yes,
distance?
exactly.
And so your boss is like Zooming you or Skyping you or whatever, and he's like, "Have you done that project?" Yeah, sure thing, boss.
And then
but
you're
you
like
haven't.
coding at night.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, coding at night, and then you deliver like absolute trash work, and then they try to piece it together with all the other work.
Yes.
And then it's super janky and broken. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna need more time. Damn it, Steve, not again."
Like
Yeah.
there's, speaking about Cyberpunk 2077,
Yeah.
people were analyzing some stuff that they had done that it felt like they had all these splices of codes
Yeah.
and somebody would make little workarounds to make it all work together.
Yeah.
And then when they finally made the full version, they're like, oh crap, all this stuff is broken because they can't
Oh,
find what it is,
yes.
but they're about to release. So they cut it all out and they removed things. And like especially with the police popping up.
Yeah.
Apparently there was a whole AI system for the police, but because it was so broken and couldn't get it to work, they just cut it and put in this like thing where it just pops up behind you and starts shooting at you. So it knows how to target you, but doesn't
Yeah.
have all the smarts around it. So that is a theory. But
that is wow.
and
that's
Michael's
cheap
put it
work.
really well. Working in a silo is a really big
It's a
pain.
pain. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it is like, but there are some jobs that you can. I feel like there is some, but I'm wondering if game development is just one of those things that really needs people-to-people contact.
Yeah, perhaps that is the case, right? Like when we work together in a space, and also you get a little bit of motivation, like you see how hard your colleagues are working or the things that your colleagues are developing, and you think to yourself, I need to lift my game.
Yeah.
Or you get a little bit of inspiration, or you get a little bit of frustration, which then you can, channel that as
Sure.
well. Like there's so many elements when you're working in a team or you're working with people around you, like it impacts you big time. And then if you're closed off in your own home, perhaps the loneliness impacts you in a negative way. Maybe the fact that you're getting on your partner's nerves impacts you as well.
There's a
And
lot of
so
distractions at home.
there's a lot of distractions, yeah, and you get a bit too relaxed. So
I get pretty relaxed at home, but I've got a job to do, so this it just means I work a little bit differently. Maybe it's a bit slower. I don't know. I haven't really timed myself, but I feel like I've achieved similar outcomes from home and at the office. So I feel like it really depends on the job.
yeah, that's right. It depends on the job and what you're held accountable to. So this is E3. Essentially, there's I'm excited because Warner Brothers is gonna be there.
Haven't they delayed the new Batman game?
Yes, they have.
Bat Knights, was it?
They have
On
Gotham
Dark
Knights.
Gotham Knights.
Bat Knights. Yeah. Gotham Knights. Yeah. It is. It's coming out 2022. We don't know when. So it was gonna come out this year. And I remember seeing the tweet from them to be like, "Oh, sorry guys, delayed to next year," and everyone like, "You're effing kidding me!" Like,
Oh, like
Yeah.
I get it, but I mean, how can you be upset about something you're gonna pay for
Yeah.
anyway? Like, How can you be
Yeah.
upset that somebody's not giving you? I mean, yeah, I guess you can actually.
I mean, like,
want
do
that,
you
you know
do
what I
you
mean?
want it this year and broken, or do you want next year and fixed? So like in good shape. Um,
I was gonna actually say Diablo 2 remake.
yeah, yeah.
That's probably the one game I'm really looking forward to this year.
Oh, you're right. That's probably the biggest banger in my eyes.
Yeah.
Like a game that's coming out this year. I really hope it drops this year.
Michael says, in any role, including dev, without input can change your mental state. Absolutely. And why do you like multiplayer exists? Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I suppose. But okay, so multiplayer, right? How does that compare to working from home? Well, I think the fact that the action that you're doing on a multiplayer game is interacting with others. That's the action.
Yeah.
So when you're working on your own project, you're not actually directly interacting with people. You have to go out of, like, you have to stop what you're doing, then interact with people. That's probably the difference between a multiplayer game and sort of working siloed. Because if you
Yeah,
had a
yeah.
single player game that you have to log out or like turn it off and go talk to somebody, do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't work. But when you're doing the action
Yeah,
that
yeah.
actually makes you speak to other people, then therefore it is something that brings people together.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Um,
Should we go on to our women?
let's go talk about our women.
Let's talk about our women.
Tell me,
guys,
Casper, what is
there-
happening with our women?
What is happening with our women, guys? Is the title was including women because there was a survey that talked about majority of women concealing their gender when gaming over harassment concerns. Now, I've seen like some videos of that. Like I personally seen that stuff on YouTube. Like women have recorded the type of communication that would come their way, whether they were good or bad at the game that they were playing. Generally, they were first-person shooter games. And I gotta say, I was really let down by the male race. I was really let down how these guys were harassing, the types of things that they were saying, and how there was this like mob mentality as well. Like there was this one female there gaming, and there'll be like 7 or 8 guys just absolutely being really awful. Like you get the odd guy here and there to be like come on guys, let's cut it out, let's focus on the game, to kind of to distract the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
guys, to be like, you know, we're here to play, we're here to compete, we're here to have some fun. So it was pretty disgusting to see.
Yeah, right.
Uh,
I explain to me, like, I don't get that mentality. How can you play a video game, speak to a female, and because it's definitely it's a males
yeah.
going that way. What's the outcome you want? What are you trying to achieve? Like, what's the outcome, right?
Yeah, you know, it's at the end of the day, it's bullying. It's a means to demean that individual. You know, maybe that particular woman in that game was quite good, and so they were using other tactics to get inside that
right,
person's
okay.
head.
Like,
I'm just thinking, yeah,
I get that. Like, I understand that, but I don't know what the outcome is, because I've seen videos of it happening.
yeah,
I've been in lobbies where that kind of, maybe not as what you've seen, but I've seen
Yeah.
behavior that I would say was borderline not quite right. And I'll be like,
Yeah.
what the hell? Like, that's so weird to say stuff like that. Like,
Sure.
it was more creepy than more like, hateful, right?
Right,
But
right.
it's like, what are you trying to achieve? What are you going to do to somebody who you don't know who they are? You don't know their real name. The only thing you know is that they're the opposite gender. What's the outcome you're going for?
See, that's a brilliant question. Like, what is going through some of these guys' minds? And I think, you know, they're not actually thinking a lot. They're not actually thinking about the consequences. And let's just dive into some of the statistics that we got here. So this is a survey, and it says that 59% of women polled to conceal their gender while playing online video games over harassment concerns. The survey was conducted by Lenovo and Reach 3 Insights. Not sure who that is. In total, 900 women were polled, spanning the United States, China, and Germany. So cool. So we got a bit of a blend there. You know,
Yeah,
we
right.
got,
Europe,
we got Asia, Europe,
US,
and
yeah,
US,
Germany.
which is nice. According to the survey, 77% of the respondents stated that they have had to deal with harassment related to their gender. 70% say their skill has been questioned. 65% say they've encountered gatekeeping, and half said they've been patronized. Meanwhile, 44% received unsolicited relationship asks.
Wow.
Given those numbers, it comes as little surprise that so many women have opted to hide their gender while playing.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair call. Like that, I mean, those statistics. But
Yeah.
can I just sort of also bring it back? Like, I was young once, and sometimes getting onto Call of Duty, all you hear from the boys there is just like, F this, F you're this, it very,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
vulgar.
Like, what is it about us as men, I wonder?
Yeah.
Is it when we get together, all this testosterone turns us
Yeah.
into like these apes?
Well, I
you
think
know?
we're all fighting. Like this is my sort of
Yeah.
thought. So, forgetting this survey, because it's just like if I went somewhere that I don't necessarily like, I'm the odd one out. I feel like a sore thumb, sticking out.
Sure,
then
yeah.
I get all the attention. But coming to think of it as a group of people who have been doing this for years and playing these games and talking all this vulgar nonsense and talking crap and swearing, probably talking about, women in different ways, because it mostly has been, boys and men.
Sure.
And then how does that come about? First of all, that culture just gets automatically generated. Like you get together in a video game, like I'm just using Call of Duty as an example,
yeah.
and it just goes nuts. They're swearing their head off. They're calling out each other's mums, dads, and it's really rude and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you get a female joins in, and then she is female and sticks out because maybe there's voice chat or something, and it's like they were already talking about all that stuff. Does that mean that all of a sudden she becomes the target of that because of what was going on beforehand? Do you know what I mean? Like, is the whole, like, if she wasn't there, would it still continue to have that rampant thing, or does she just pop in and become the target of that rampant because she's the odd one out? I guess the statistic
Right.
there is like 70%. That means every time somebody joins, it's just like,
It's pretty massive, right? I think, and I did a video about it as well, and so the video was essentially about like hatred in video games and attitude towards people. And I found out doing a bit of research and doing this video, anonymity plays a massive role in this. And there's a phenomenon that happens where our behavior is abnormal. It's bad behavior essentially,
Right.
because we know we can get away with it.
yeah.
And this is what you see when we see riots. People are wearing balaclava or masks, or the fact that they're shrouded by how many people there are, so they can kind of hide themselves. And you see people throw things, you see people behave in that manner. And it's just fascinating that we go down that pathway.
It's crazy.
And so what I've heard, some of these solutions that we can implement into these issues that we have is to create a sort of like a voting system, and a system where reputation can be, I suppose, managed almost like the whole like Uber drivers or like that
Yeah,
kind
I
of
see.
stuff.
I don't know.
In the gaming community. So if
feel like-
somebody's notorious, maybe they can't join the multiplayer game, or as a team, you can collectively, give them like a thumbs down or something, like this person is bad. So, whatever.
I used to play Heroes of the Storm, and there used to be a thing that if people quit a game before it finished quite often, it would be matched with other people who quit games quite often.
So then
to
there would
make
just
it-
be like an empty game.
Yeah, it would be like people
Yeah.
just quitting, and you'd get upset because somebody gets upset at you because you quit because you got upset, and then when you go and get matched with people other people who quit, then it's like, well, you're all quitting, you're all quitters. You just go sit in a corner and be quitting,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know, like one of the things, League of Legends is probably another one. Like those
Wow.
MOBA games are
Pretty
really toxic. Yeah.
Nasty.
Michael says, when you have one dog, you have one dog. If you have two dogs, you have half a dog. If you have three dogs, you have no dog.
Interesting.
How-
That's like a poem
Is it?
about dogs.
Bit of context there, Michael. Wasn't sure what that
Yes.
means. If they pulled guys, they'd get the same results, but the kids probably don't care about being told to KYS, etc. Yogi Bear says plenty of sledging happens in pro sports like AFL, etc. Yeah, there's this. It's almost like you're talking to each other and almost propping each other up and like trying to wind each other up in
Yeah.
competition, right? Like competition brings out a lot of things. And I think what you said, you're quite right. With anonymity comes the removal of a filter of what you might say in real life competition. So you kind of lose your shit and you go crazy at people.
Yeah. What I find interesting is like just maybe not like harassment or abuse, but like when guys get together, we kind of tease each other, we kind of test each other. You know, we just kind of we do that to one another. And I find when women, you know, get together, they're a lot more supportive of each other.
Sure.
You know, there's a different dynamic. You know, they kid around too, but I think overall they're a bit more supportive to each other in a group, and guys are a bit more abusive to each other in a group.
I think a part of it is wanting to find out if you can depend on each other. Like if
Yeah,
you're working,
it's a test, right?
yeah, it's a
Yeah,
test.
yeah.
Like, oh, are you tough enough to like, if something happened to me, would you, help
Yeah,
me
yeah,
or
yeah. Are you-
save my life?
Are you? Yeah. Can you hang in my gang? Like, are
yeah.
you strong enough to be?
Are we
yeah.
all on the same level? It almost works
Yeah.
like out a bit of a pecking order, right? Like,
Yeah, you're right. You're
yeah,
right.
even with dogs, like they know, you know. Here we go. Michael says, to sort of clarify what he said before, one person equals one person, two people equals two people trying to one up each other. Yeah, sure.
Yes.
You're always
yeah.
climbing, but isn't that really like, forgetting the harassment here, because it's definitely not what we're trying to put down here, but
Sure.
having two people who like try and one up each other, it kind of means you're climbing the ladder together, right? So you're always pushing each other to do better.
Right. Right.
So in competition, when one person starts sort of harassing the other person, you might take that and go, well, that's a challenge. I'll try and I'll do you and harass you. Sort of.
You're harassing back and forth because you're
back and
playing
forth.
mind games, and
Yeah,
at the same time
yeah.
you're trying to win a game. So
But coming back to this,
coming back to this,
you as a female in a game, you've got voice chat,
Yep.
and you've got your Nate gamer tag.
Yep.
If you want to engage in the game and you speak and you sound female, you're gonna have a problem. So it's not
You're
like
gonna get
so it's
bombed.
forgetting about all the attitude and how people treat you. A female joins a game, they stick out because they can't change their voice, and it's pretty bad. How do you hide your gender? Do you? No, I'm a 5-year-old boy. So do you know what I mean? Like you can't quite hide your voice.
You could do like a voice changer. Yeah.
But why?
That's right.
I mean, why should they?
I know it's awful. So, Patrick, what is your message to all the gaming men out there? Like, how can we improve the situation? What is your?
I don't get it. I honestly cannot understand the outcome. What is your outcome? What are you trying to get out of it?
Yeah.
Are you trying to make that person quit the game? Leave?
Right.
Why? What are you trying to do? I don't understand what
Yeah.
the aim of the harassment is. Like, I'd understand
So
if...
do you think confronting some of these issues would
Yeah.
be a good way to be like, hey, what are you doing? Why are you being so abusive?
Yeah, like what-
maybe ask the question to the abuser.
I think
Right.
I think a lot of people forget to ask the right questions.
Right. Yeah.
People go, stop, and you're like, why? Like,
Yeah.
what am I stopping? Like, what am I doing? Like, this is fine, right? I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
There's a lot of things. So I think
So you got to
asking-
address to be like, look, the things that you're saying are making this gamer uncomfortable.
No, I think that's not the way to go. That's
No?
what everybody's always tried.
Oh, okay.
They always go up to a young child and they go, that makes that person feel, blah, 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 you shouldn't do that. And they'll be like, why? Like, there's...
Why?
Yeah,
The
why?
child's like, why?
Yeah, because there's no...
Yeah.
Do you even know that they care that they do that?
Hmm.
So I think the question is, what are you trying to achieve? And if they're trying to achieve like, oh, I want that person to leave the game, it's like, well, you leave the game. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you I don't know, maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree, but I feel like there needs to be an understanding of what the hell do you want to achieve here, and if it's just to be a dick, then that's probably the point where they just kick him out and ban him from the game. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there must be an outcome, not a why, but just a what are you trying to achieve? Not why.
Right.
Everybody has a why. It doesn't matter.
Why?
But what's the... Pog says, sometimes trolling can help, but more often than not, mistakes are made. I wanted to mention one other thing about this story. So,
Okay.
A little while
We're talking
back-
about this harassment thing.
yeah,
Still.
yeah.
Yep.
A little
Okay,
while back, this became really prominent again, and this keeps coming back up. And
It
up.
keeps
It's-
coming back.
Yeah, it's obviously a
Yep.
problem. I don't know. I'm not in that world. I don't know what the solution is.
Yeah.
I think, personally, more when you have esports, It's actually one of the only games that female players are not barred from competing with males. I don't know if I
Yeah,
don't know if you know this.
we're all on equal ground.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's the one thing you're all on equal grounds. The only problem why there's not enough females in esports is because when you have 10,000 people and you've got 2,000 females in there, because the ratio is quite off, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
more males play games. The ones who are really, really good make it up the ladder really quickly, and they're just competing at a much higher level than most females are. So the
Okay.
best of the best females make it to the top, but there's much less of them. So there's a very distinct difference in percentages of thing. But more esport coverage of where women gamers and male gamers compete, I think will probably lead to a bit more normalizing that women also play games, because
Oh, that's good.
that's the problem. We
Yeah.
haven't normalized that women play games. I don't think we're there yet, because it's only recently that
And they
gaming
can be
has
hella good.
Yeah,
and I think
exactly.
it blows our minds that they're hella good, because this is like a realm where, like you said, their physique doesn't come into the
Correct.
equation.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a battle of the minds, and a little bit of dexterity
Yeah.
as well. But that's what it is, right? It's a
Yeah,
battle of
you're
the
not going
brains.
to have a female boxer versus a male boxer. Like that's
No,
just
you wouldn't do that.
unreasonable,
sports.
because
Yeah.
there's a physique difference. But in esports, there isn't.
Yeah.
There is no difference in physique. It's your skill, and it's purely you have hands, and if you do, obviously, I'm not saying some people don't, but
Sure.
you play CS:GO, and there's no discernible difference between you and them, and gender just does not come into it. So, coming back to it,
Yeah.
there's just less women playing games. But I think if you normalize, there'll be more, and then those those boys who treat women like this in video games, will just start seeing that there's more girls, and they're obviously there, and they'll just stop, because it'll be like, oh, what the hell? What am I doing? Like, what am I trying to do here? Like, this is ridiculous.
Right.
Because
right.
there's so little. I think that's the problem. But what I was going to go on to, just to make this somber moment a bit more positive.
Sure.
There was this thing called bully hunters.
Bully hunters.
Have you heard of this?
No.
No. Okay. Can you just share the screen and look up bully hunters?
hold
Because
on,
it's the
let's have a
most
look.
ridiculous thing I've seen. So, a little while back, there was this thing called... Yeah, there we go. This is
This
it. From
thing?
2018. That's been a long
Okay.
time, the Polygon article. So, what they did is this organization, it was done by our favorite female games journalist. If
Okay.
we go down, we'll get her name. I can't remember her name very well. What is her name? Everybody knows who it is. God, it's somewhere in here.
Is,
Anyway,
okay,
somebody
right,
in
right,
somebody in
right.
comments will know. Famous, big female game journalist. Anyway, go back to the top. So they created this live stream where they got these top female gamers, right? They got them to basically live stream, and you could tweet at Bully Hunters and say, there is somebody harassing me in this game. They
Yeah.
would log into that match and just like kill that that person who's harassing them.
Oh, right. They just gang up on that person.
Yeah.
To get a dose of their own medicine.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
And
okay.
it was a complete and utter failure. Like, it was just like, who's the ultimate judge here? Like, who judges who gets punished? And like, it's just crazy stuff. It's
Yeah,
like
you're
fighting
right.
fire with fire, right? So this person's constantly killing this other person. The person's like, oh, they're bullying me. So they call up bully hunters. Bully jumps in and starts killing this person. You're like, what is that solving? And I don't know if I think there was sorry, I wonder if I can. This was
Oh, this
the
is
video.
Ryu Tech USA.
Yeah, but that's not the. Let's just read it here.
Bully hunters know your meme.
Yeah, it's become a meme. So
I'd never heard of this.
you've never
That's
heard of
amazing.
this. On the
yeah.
6th of April 2018, Bully Hunter's YouTube channel uploaded a trailer for the upcoming live stream about harassment in video games. Re-upload shown below. On April 12th, the event was streamed on Facebook and Twitch, during which hosts discussed misogyny, video game harassment, and broadcast Counter-Strike Global Offensive matches in which a Bully Hunter is dispatched to take down harassing players in-game, shown below.
Okay, yeah, so they got a video, yeah.
Yeah, so on April 11th, Paste Magazine published an article titled "What Bully Hunters Gets Wrong About Harassment in Video Games." The same day, Polygon published an article, blah blah blah. Yeah, so it was just really went down badly. And SteelSeries was a
Yeah.
sponsor of them, and they
Oh, wow.
pulled out real quick after it went downhill. They were
Oh,
like, "Yeah,
good
no,
move.
we're not a part of this anymore." So
Yeah, no
it's
thanks.
so that approach obviously doesn't work. So
Wow.
yeah. Anyway, let's
Okay,
move on.
Yeah, we'll move on.
Let's talk
Vehicles.
man
Let's
cars.
talk man cars, guys. Well, actually, they're cars for people. Anyone can drive one, okay? Just so
Oh
you
my
know.
god, I
Yeah.
have some comments about certain people who drive certain cars, but we'll just leave it.
Sure,
at
yeah,
that.
we'll leave it at that. So in 2022, the Ford F-150 is going to release.
It looks sick.
It looks
I
kind of
love
cool,
it.
guys. It's an all-electric F-150
Oh.
vehicle. So look at it. It looks pretty cool.
I think an F-150. I've seen one driving around. They're giant. They're absolutely
You've
giant.
seen? Oh, not like
No, the
electric,
F-150,
I was like,
so-
wow, you were in the future.
No,
Yeah.
so this car is obviously made as the F-150, but the actual car it's based on is giant. I would
Yeah.
prefer like a Ranger or something, like a Ford Ranger if it's gonna be a Ute like that.
Oh, right. Look how ticky it looks. Look at like the speedo
It,
and
do-
the
it
map
actually
and stuff.
doesn't. Sorry, you know what it looks like?
doesn't?
They just chucked the fucking
An
iPad on the yeah,
That does
yeah.
look like an iPad. So the thing
stop
about
scrolling
this
so
is,
fast.
sorry, I'm just trying to get to the mileage here. Okay, so the Ford 150 comes with a standard range battery that offers a targeted EPA of 230 miles. So that's times it by 1.6. That works out to be what, 380
Hang
or
on,
something
hang
like
on, I'm
that.
gonna check. 230 miles.
Yeah.
230.
So it's not a lot, guys. It's like 400. It's under 400 kilometers. for
370
that.
kilometers.
Yeah, 370. Or choose the available extended range battery that offers EPA of 300. So that's 480 kilometers. So
Yeah.
under 500
That's
kilometers.
480.
Yeah.
Okay, go up to the top a little bit. I just saw a photo. I just want to
One of these?
out. No, keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah, stop
One of
here,
these.
stop here.
Yeah.
See that photo on the right hand?
Yeah. This one. Yeah.
That little bit there where it's like pulling this big Airstream thing, which
Yeah,
is like
that's
a caravan.
Yeah.
And you see, look around you. There's like a coast there. There's bush there.
Yeah. It looks great.
I'm telling you right now, it takes way more than 470 kilometers to get to an area like this.
Potentially, yes.
Maybe not
Yeah.
in America.
Yeah,
No, even in
depends.
America. It just makes
You
no
reckon?
sense for a car like this. I mean, sorry, I love electric cars.
Yeah, same. I do.
And I'm just like, it's such a big car, and yet it has such low range. It's embarrassing.
And the fact that if you're pulling a caravan,
It's
it's
gonna-
even less.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're gonna do like 250, 300.
Yeah, so
on a
this is an
single charge.
unrealistic expectation. And
Yeah.
but see, here's the thing, right? I'm talking as if I'm a boomer who's like, this is why electric cars are going to fail. And this is
Yeah.
why when you invest in coal, clean coal and gas for the future
Clean
of
coals.
our country.
Since when was coal clean?
Have you not heard
Yeah.
about clean coal?
No.
Oh my God,
Oh
don't
my
even
God.
start. Don't even
Sparkly
start.
coal.
Scotty from marketing's got a bloody hard on
Scotty.
for clean coal.
So we got a question from Yogi Bear. He says, how much does it cost to replace the battery?
We won't know, but it'll be from what I've seen in regards to Tesla. Well, so we've seen Teslas. They've been around for the longest. Last I remember, there was a car that did 1 million kilometers
Yeah, for the battery.
and
Yeah.
1 million miles, sorry,
Million
and still
miles to
hadn't
battery, yeah.
replaced the battery.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
fantastic
So-
because engines generally don't
300
make
is
it
like-
to like 1 million miles. They don't. Like it'd be amazing if you have a car that reaches that many.
Yeah, I think
miles.
350 is like generally like the car's
For
lifespan.
most cars, 350,000. And Michael says that he lives in an area like that. So there you go. You can have a 150.
Yeah, go down. I want to
F150.
see some more photos of the. Oh, you gotta.
Oh
click
yeah,
out
I
of it.
gotta unclick this.
I want to
thing.
see those ones in a row. No, not this one.
Oh,
Go.
not this one. Look at it, so flashy, guys. But
It still looks like a car though. Like,
yeah.
when you look at the Cybertruck from Tesla, it
I
actually
know the
looks
Cybertruck
futuristic,
looks
like-
very futuristic.
And just for that,
absolutely.
I'd go with a Tesla. But I like a good Ford. Yeah, this is what I wanted to have a look through.
This one here.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's
so
have
let's
flip
have a
through
look
them.
at that.
Okay, just slow down. So
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
we've got power start button.
Yep.
So it's all a car. So they took everything that their standard car is and chucked an iPad in,
Yep.
chucked a little screen in there, and then put batteries underneath. Like that's not futuristic. I'm sorry. That just looks
No,
like a car with batteries.
And I mean,
in
they're
it.
they're dipping their toe in the water. They know they have to compete. I'm actually proud
Yeah.
of Ford for having that mentality to be like, guys, we need to move this thing along and get with the times because
They're so
Tesla
late.
is
They're-
burying us.
they're
We are
10
already
years.
late.
Yeah.
They're 10 years late because Tesla started in like the
13,
late
2013?
2000s. So like,
Nine, wasn't it? Or something like that?
yeah, something like that. Yeah, and then they got onto the market in 2012, I think, for the stock did. And so it's great to see that they're finally making this move. It's kind of feels like, you know, when Disney approached Pixar, they saw that Pixar was like in the future because they're like 3D animations, and Disney was still like lol 2D. And so they realized that Pixar is the future.
Yeah, yeah.
And then obviously, but Ford is in this position where like, well, we're too late. We can't like out muscle or purchase our competitors, but at least we can kind of get with the times.
Yeah, yeah.
And because they see the statistics that like, oh, look at Tesla cars. Well, they're selling the most out of any car in existence right now.
And they're a tech company.
Yeah, they're a tech company.
And what's weird is people compare, so they compare Tesla to like a Ford, right? Or like a, you know, General Motors or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't compare two different companies. Tesla is not a car company. It's a tech company. They make the software more so than the cars themselves. And it's like, yeah, but they make cars. It's like, yeah, but they're not a car company. Their model doesn't base it around cars. It's all
Yeah,
about
you're right, because they do like energy for homes.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like mass scale energy. Yeah, you're right. It is a tech company.
It's a tech company, and people are missing this when they compare it to
Yeah.
cars.
They do solar panels for your roof.
Yeah, and
Like,
incredible
yeah.
ones. The little panels that you don't
They
need
look
to,
so
oh,
sexy.
man.
Yeah.
It's insane. And they do
They look
batteries.
so great.
Yogi Bear says the Nissan Leaf was $35,000 to replace the battery last time I looked.
Oh, that is nasty.
Yeah, the car costs less than that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say it probably costs, it's like a whole new car.
Yeah. A battery degrades over the life like a phone and then costs 70 to 80% the purchase price to put a new battery in, and the battery goes into landfill. So this
Yeah,
is
that's
so there's
nasty.
a massive new company coming out that will be, it's not a massive company. It's a company that is investing in lithium battery recycling.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
a big thing on the rise right now.
Yeah, because that's what's going to happen. So you're going to have all these cars that are going to have these batteries, and yes, they're going to be replaced over the next, you know, decade or like 15 to 20 years. But you can just replace the battery in the car and off you go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, unless the car gets crashed, there's no reason why you can't have great performance, you know. But some people are saying that it's like replacing an engine every, you know, couple of years in a car, which isn't true, because you just replace multiple parts.
Well, that's right. And I mean, they're giving you a lot of warranty. I mean, Teslas, I don't know about the rest of them, but they give you 7 years, I think is the minimum, which is all right. You can do a lot of miles.
When's the last time a car gave you 7 years warranty? And when's the last time
Yeah.
they actually honored it?
Yeah, that's right.
I cannot remember any car, and I bought an extra warranty on my car, and I had to fight tooth and nail for them to just adhere to what it says on paper. It's insane. My biggest hate is car salesmen
Yes.
buying cars from car sales lots.
Yeah.
I prefer to just go and buy one from somebody like a Gumtree or a Marketplace, because I feel like, first of all, it'll be a little bit cheaper. I can check it myself and be comfortable with it, and I don't have to deal with the crap that you go through with a car
It can be tough,
salesperson.
right? It can be super tough.
It's insane.
Absolutely.
Pog says, everybody stop charging your phones. We need to make it to the next town.
Yeah, I know that's going to be a very common argument when there's like a family driving around.
Yes,
The
yes.
dad's going to be like, guys, don't charge anything. We need to make it to the
We're
station.
turning everything off. We're just going to roll.
Yeah, we're going to roll down the hill, guys. Yeah, I can definitely see that happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, let us know in the chat if you want one of these things.
Keep going. So we need to go through all the photos. I want to check it out.
You want to see more?
Yeah,
Okay,
so
okay, let's see.
what-
Oh,
Go back. No, let's go back to one photo. I just want to see one photo, and it's the guy putting the trunk in. I want to see what that looks like.
Oh, this
Yeah,
thing.
click this.
Yeah.
So instead of helping
Oh,
him, she's
she's-
playing on the phone.
No, she's opening the trunk.
Okay.
He's like, honey, open the trunk.
There's, you know what I find really cool about some cars I've seen is they have, if the car is unlocked, because you've got the key fob that you can go
Yeah,
near
yeah.
it, you can actually swipe your foot underneath the trunk at the back, and it just pops it up.
Oh,
Like
that's
I've
cool.
seen these Mercs and these BMWs have that. But yeah, I always find it weird that now the front's got a.
I know, it still blows my mind. You know what? One of these days, you know, when we have kids or whatever,
Yeah.
like the next generation, we'll be talking to them and be like, do you know that engines used to be at the front? And
Yeah,
they're like,
they'll be
Dad, what's an engine?
Like, yeah, like you open it up and you're like, you know what used to be here? like this thing that would explode every like nanosecond and create
Yeah.
combustion or whatever.
And they're like, man, your time was crazy.
Yeah,
Dad.
you're all idiots, Dad.
Yeah, you live in a dangerous era, Dad.
It's insane to think how far and you know what's exciting? You know what? It's exciting to see the change because I
Yeah.
think some people don't get to see the change. Like kids these God, I'm saying it. Kids these days.
Kids these days.
That didn't grow up without the internet. Or actually, you know what? Didn't grow up without software that worked together.
Yeah.
Like when you had software that couldn't speak to each other, you had, yeah, to me, that's insane. But the fact that I can log into my phone and download an app and it automatically connects to like random Bluetooth stuff,
Yeah.
like headphones and stuff is insane. Like,
That
that's
is
so cool.
insane. Yeah.
But they didn't know that. They're like, oh, why isn't it working? I'm pressing a button. It's like, yeah, but what if you tried this? It's like, why would I try that? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, because that's how we used to solve problems back in the day. Kids these days won't understand what it's like to solve connectivity
Yeah.
problems.
Absolutely.
Why isn't dial-up working? Well, you can fiddle around with the thing and reconnect
yeah.
it and you know. Anyway, that's really off topic.
We have a
Phone as a
nice-
key is really cool.
Yeah, we got a nice quote here from Yogi Bear.
Yeah.
She's telling the car to drive over a late husband.
Late
yeah,
husband.
that's a possibility. You know, she's making the most of the features of the vehicle.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh. I wonder if you can like press it again and it like he's like putting it in and she shuts
And
the
she's
boot
like, hey, hey, hey.
slices them open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you this because
Okay.
having electric cars brings in some other issues.
Right.
They are really good at setting themselves on fire after a crash.
Oh no.
Oh yes, very very easily.
Highly flammable.
Highly flammable. The batteries are extremely flammable.
Okay, so
Tesla's had a
wow.
few fires. You know.
Because it's all like electricity and circuits.
Yeah,
And,
and-
okay, that makes a lot of sense because all of that stuff gets very hot. Or there's streams of electricity running through the whole car in various areas.
Yeah.
Like I can see that now.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Highly
Isn't it?
it's very
And
crazy.
you know, like imagine driving down the freeway at like 100 k's and all of a sudden something gives way. Like maybe the power gets cut or a battery. I don't know. Something could happen.
Right.
And you're just like, I mean, you know, it could happen with a normal car, but I feel like there's a bit of recourse with a normal car because, yeah, I don't know. Maybe there isn't recourse.
Okay. So the future is going to be batteries will eventually get smaller for the cars.
Sure. And lighter.
And lighter. And
That means more range.
also more range, yeah. And the safety features will improve because they'll have better casings or better ways to kind of house all of that. So if there's any damage to the car, you know, you won't have like ignition. You won't have you know, those sparks happening or if they do, they'll be closed off. They'll be segmented it off so
Sure.
it doesn't like, you know, engulf the whole car in flames.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that will be the next step. Like we'll iron those kinks out.
Yeah, well, I wonder how long that's going to take.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's much easier to like that's the other thing, like this car or even a Tesla is going to get an over-the-air update and it's going to change some settings and it might even improve your efficiency because it'll make the software smarter.
Yeah.
You might go into a service and then might swap out like a chip in there and improve
Yeah.
the performance of the car. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of exciting things.
Should we quickly have a look at the colors?
Let's look at the colors.
Let's look at some colors, guys. Look at that.
PlayStation colors.
Black
so
and red.
you cannot buy a PlayStation 5 right now, but mate, have I got some exciting colors of the controllers you could be playing games with.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so you can't get the printer, but how about some ink? Yeah.
And here's some paper too.
Yeah, it's a paper. Thanks. Yeah. So guys, yes, sad times if you still don't have a PS5 and you would like one, but now you can have a different color controller if that's what you'd like. I mean, you
Is
can
it
use
only just Cosmic Red that they announced?
and the midnight black or whatever
Oh,
it's
right,
called.
'cause there's white ones, yeah, yeah.
I love the look of the black. Oh,
I feel like
it
they
looks
should have
so
gone
good.
with that first.
Yeah, we got the Stormtrooper look instead.
Yeah.
But
Oh, look at that red.
that red looks pretty cool,
That
right?
looks cool.
What is that? Like it feels almost
Crimson
like a
red?
scarlet or crimson. Yeah.
Scarlet? Yeah,
Crimson.
Scarlet. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you have it. These are very hot right now on Amazon.
I'm gonna say it. This is the best controller I've ever used. I used it the other day to
Same.
play some Oddworld.
You played Oddworld?
Yeah, I played a little bit of Oddworld.
Oh, cool.
It's
On PC?
on PC. It's super easy. Doesn't do widescreen.
The brand new one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Soulstorm. Soulstorm. Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought it was a good game. I probably wouldn't recommend it to everyone. If you've played all the Odd Worlds, this will be a great little thing to play. But the controller, like I said, it plays really well. This is one of the how good is it?
Oh, it's so good.
Oh man.
Every time I pick it up, I can't believe it. It's just, it falls into my hand like it was designed for my hands.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I just, and
Xbox just doesn't
so good.
compare. Sorry, but it just doesn't.
And like Xbox used to be that, that elite controller where it was like, yeah, this is the right size, this feels better. But now I feel like the tide has shifted.
Yeah, that's the thing. It actually feels extremely premium. The controller you get.
Yeah.
The price hasn't significantly changed. Like, it still costs the same amount as a PlayStation 4 controller used to cost. So I feel like it's pretty cool.
Absolutely. I've been waiting for different colors. So maybe
You're gonna get a
I'll
second one?
Yeah. Which one would you get out of these two colors?
I'd go the red.
You go with the red?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a hard decision. I know the black, like, because, the whole thing is black. Wow. What's the difference? Like, it's not amazing. And you have, like, the two-tone colors here. But I don't know, man.
The skeptic in me would be like, so what does it matter the color it is? It's not like, do you know what I mean?
I had that thought, and I realized, wait, hold on. When I'm gaming, I never see my controller.
Yeah.
I always see my TV. So I should put more money into my TV?
Well, I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Apple was probably the pioneer in regards to colors.
Yeah.
They realized that people don't necessarily buy a computer because, like, this is coming back to the Mac era, like the little Mac boxes, remember the round, ovally shaped ones?
Yes.
And so they sort of realized that every computer is just gray or cream color.
Yeah.
And the internals, people don't care about internals. And I have always said that on my YouTube channel. Who cares about the spec? Does it actually perform? But by the way, here's some specs, right? So you kind of have to have both ways. But my opinion is it doesn't matter what the specs are unless you're looking for something very specific, and then that's a technical conversation.
Yeah, and purists are in the minority.
Yeah,
Yeah.
purists are in the minority.
Yeah.
So when it comes to a laptop, colors are just incredible because you go, well, it's the same laptop. It's going to do everything I need to do because it does it anyway. And I can see, and people have told me it does. So I get to pick a color. I get to choose my almost personality really with this. Like, what am I going to enjoy picking up every day? And maybe that's what it is. Like, you go and look at your black controller, you're like, I love that color. Yeah.
But the 10 seconds before you start gaming.
Yeah, and it's like if you buy a car and then you don't look back after you lock it up when you walk away, then you haven't bought the right color, basically, is what people say.
That's a cool saying.
Have
I've
you-
never heard
you
that.
haven't heard that one?
If you don't look back in your car when you walk away, you haven't bought the right one.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
That's
I haven't heard
my
that.
sort of view. So I think, changing up colors is great. When Apple announced that they did that, and that's why they keep adding colors. They don't change the product. They just add a new color because that's new. That's different.
Yeah.
And it's almost goes like this whole making things obsolete.
Obsolete, right? Yeah.
But I think adding colors is actually just a way to sell more, obviously. But it's a way to even make it a little bit more different. And so not everybody has the same. So individuality, right? They're going for individuality. And I think Ford used to make one car. I think it was just black. And then some other company...
I think that somebody
that's the one.
mentioned
Sorry,
it, right?
Michael
black
says
cars.
Henry Ford originally had only black cars, and then Chevy started doing seasonal colors. And what they started doing, oh, we'll add some fins at the back, or they changed one thing and go, here's a new release, but internally it was all the same. But man, people loved it. They loved driving different colored cars. They even treated them differently because treated as immaculate and
The
stuff.
psychology of color.
I
It's
know
a thing.
color is fantastic.
Yeah. It's why when a lady wears a red dress, it's like, oh, it really catches your eyes,
Yeah, and it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's everywhere. And what color does it makes things that are ugly stand out.
Yeah.
So when you have a really shoddy house and there's a colorful car in front of it, the house stands out. But if you've got this black car, nobody really cares. You don't notice the contrast, right? Color adds contrast and you stand out, and people love it being individual and standing out in the crowd, right?
Yeah.
You always want, ooh, look at me, I want the attention.
That's why you see people with colorful hair and colorful clothing and stuff, and
They wanna stand out.
because it adds color to your skin. Yeah.
They want to be individual, and there's a psychology to it, but it really depends. There's good and bad of it. Like it's not always good to stand out. So weirdly, you don't want to hurt yourself to stand out for sure. Yeah. Planned obsolescence is what I was talking about before.
Planned obsolescence. Wow.
There was a conspiracy with light bulb manufacturers who would they engineered the longest light bulbs ever, like thousands of hours, right? And then they realized people stopped buying their light bulbs, so
because you don't need a replacement.
So they got together and they got together with the other manufacturers and decided that they're going to use their engineers to make light bulbs that lasted a certain time, and then they decided they would penalize each other if some of their new light bulbs would last longer than a certain amount of hours, because they wanted a steady rate of sales of people to replace their light bulbs. It's insane.
Oh, that sucks. That's why I need to replace my light bulbs.
Yeah, I mean, it still sort of happens, but when we moved into the LED world, I don't think people clicked of how long LEDs last versus...
They do last a long time, don't
they? Last a long time.
This one's an LED one because the light bulb in here broke.
Yeah.
And that one's the old school light bulb still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is I watched a video, maybe it was in Veritasium. He did a video about light bulbs. And there's a light bulb that's been going for 42 years because it was one of the only light bulbs before they decided to do that planned obsolescence thing.
Wow.
There's a man who came up with that. Phobius cartel, I think that might have been it. But there's a man who came up with that and said, to get out of the recession, we need to get rid of things and make it old.
They were referring to the secret agent outfit, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, maybe. But there's a guy who came up with it and suggested it as a way for America to get out of recession. And I think that's what created this hyper Oh,
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Hyper capitalistic
culture of
buying.
Wow,
is that all we have for today?
Yes, and the red one goes faster, so says Yogi Bear, the red controller.
Course.
So there you go. My gaming is going to be a lot better if I get the red one.
Friends, thank you very much for joining us this week. Hope to see you all next week. Make sure you like this video, if you did. And where can we find you, Casper?
Well, you can find me, Game with Casper, up here, falling down. And I'll be releasing a video tomorrow at around 2 o'clock Western Australia Standard Time.
Oh, really?
It's all scheduled and everything. Yep, this is the first time I've scheduled a video in forever.
Oh, cool.
So
cool.
I'm excited to see how people receive it because I do things in my videos. Sometimes they're a bit sketchy.
Oh, sorry, Yogi Bear. We decided that we're never going to talk about cryptocurrency on this channel.
Oh, yeah, we did have a chat about it. We didn't want to go crypto, but maybe if the people really, really like crypto.
I still think there's some topics that we should just not really go into.
I mean, we're not specialists in probably anything that we talk about. Maybe some gaming stuff and some tech stuff we know a little bit about it.
Yeah.
But crypto is it's a new world. We're learning probably along the same pace as you guys are as well.
Yeah, I think that's probably the right answer. And we don't want to become a Bitcoin related channel. And the other thing is it's a very peculiar thing because it involves money and potentially the loss of said money. If somebody takes whatever we say as gospel, and that leads to a lot of other complications that I don't feel right saying anything about
well, that's the thing. I would hate to give people we always say we don't give financial advice. We're not financial experts, but there's still a sense of that influences people to make decisions regardless. And as you said, that we would hate for people to make decisions that would harm them financially.
Also, this is not gaming advice either. So if you buy a game and you hate it and we liked it, then
please don't hate us.
Don't hate us. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you all in another one, same time, and hopefully same Friday.
Same Friday.
Yeah, same Friday.
Same Friday, but next week. Yes.
Catch you all.
Bye. Take care. Bye. Nice.